Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. We are down here in the base. We are going to be working on this again this episode. I am hoping to build the corridor or walkway that goes through in this area right here, but first of all we have to mess around with this sheep farm a bit. I've been using it a lot. It is awesome. I love it, and I'm going to show you all of the wool that we've got. But first of all, these guys over here are making a right racket. And of course, with the new sounds that we've actually had access to for quite some time, we can turn this down right here. Now, because they're friendly creatures, it's not too bad turning the volume of them down. They're not going to creep up on you and explode or anything like that, so all is good there. But this farm is great, and I have actually had some problems with it as well, and you may have noticed there are some fence posts here, and that's because I've been trying different things out, trying to fix it. But in between doing all of that, I have been using it a lot. I've been making sure to do tons of AFK farming here, and it has been a huge success. So let me show you all of the wool that we have. So we have all of that right there, and all of that, and all of that as well, and you can kind of see how much I've been doing this from based on each group of 4 colours, because these ones right here you can see I haven't done enough to fill up these bits. Same for these 4 colours, whereas the blue, the light blue, and these ones down here, we've done plenty of those, and these ones here, almost enough to fill it up. So you can get a good idea, and also you can see how close the numbers are together, that you get a pretty proportional amount of each one compared to the next, although there is an anomaly here, and I've got a feeling that maybe there's an extra grey sheep in there, or one of the others died or something. I don't know. It's just a suspicion, so I'm going to have to go in there and count them out. But if what I was saying there didn't make sense, basically, I mean, let's say we had 5 white sheep in there, then after doing loads of shearing, we would probably have an extra 2 stacks here or something like that, because we'd be getting more overall. And I also have this in the chest here as well, so a little bit more wool left over as well, because all of those colours were filled up. So it has been a success, but there has been problems with it. Now the problems are, first of all, that the sheep can get pushed back into this little area here like this guy is doing, and when the next one drops down, as you saw there, perfect timing, it went in front. So this guy gets nudged back, and sometimes they can be pushed back for quite some time if lots of sheep are falling down. And so you're standing here trying to shear them, and you're not getting the ones that fall down. So we need something here that has a full hitbox, and it took me quite some time to figure it out. That guy was spinning around. But what we want to do, I think, is put a trapdoor on the side. Now I tried this with both a carpet across the top and a daylight sensor, and it meant that this sheep wouldn't get nudged back into this area. But then when you sheared them, there was a high chance that the drops would land on top of the carpet or whatever it was I was using. So I think a trapdoor would work, because it would add a bit of hitbox on the side here, and the sheep is only 1 wide, so when it gets pushed back it's going to hit the edge of that hitbox, and then when it gets sheared its items are going to fall into the water and get pushed forward, and that should hopefully solve all of our problems here. There might have actually been a couple of other problems that I wanted to do. I remember having some other plans and ideas for this area, but I think that actually takes care of all of them. So what I'm going to do is craft myself, and I don't have any items on me at the moment. I just finished clearing out my inventory. I might as well take these back up with me, because I have to go and get some wood. So while I'm doing that, I actually have a clip to show you. Mumbo invited me over to play a game that he made in the new Hermit Town. So while I'm doing some crafting and getting myself some materials together, I'll show you that clip and be back with you in a moment.
Alright, so here
Hi.
is Exuma, and he is about to try out the labyrinth maze. Alright?
Yep. I'm looking forward to this, Mumbo. I have this morning watched your video and thought that looks great. I can't wait to give that a go. And then you messaged me and said, "Hey, do you want to come over and check it out?" I am excited.
Yeah, you are the first other hermit to be trying this. You can see
Yay.
we have got the extensive labyrinth top times here. They go on for a while, so get your reading glasses on. Currently, it is just me with 1 minute and 30 seconds. That's what I got officially on the Hermitcraft server. I did get 1 minute 15 seconds in creative mode, but we're not going to be counting that one.
Yeah.
It is only hermit times right now.
So you've set the bar right there.
Yeah, that is the bar. I want you to try and beat it. If you do beat it, though, there's a possibility that you might get banned.
Oh, is that how it works? I see.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody better than me is just off the server immediately.
Excellent. I was just thinking, can I use a speed potion? Is that allowed? I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I think actually anything goes. Anything goes apart from obviously taking out the blocks of the maze.
Yeah.
You can try anything that you want. You could end a pearl about the maze if you wanted to.
I
Um,
could build a little X-ray machine over on the side before I play.
well, yeah, see that's a little bit different, I
Yeah.
guess. I don't know. I really haven't sort of thought about the techniques that people could use, but I guess I have the world download up for download. So if people wanted to use like cheat sheets, then I guess that could go as well. There's not really anything I can do about that. So really, just do what you want, and we will see if you can beat the 1 minute 30 seconds.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do this vanilla. I'm gonna go in. No, no. Oh, wait a minute. There's a speed beacon here.
Yeah,
So
you
I've got
you
speed
lose
one.
you lose that quite quickly as you drop down, so that's all right.
Oh.
And I also have a stopwatch up so I can verify your time. Right, I've got that on my other screen here. So when you finish, just shout like done or finished or complete, whatever you want to say. Just
Okay.
anything that sounds like you're finished, and then I will verify your time, and you can go up on the board.
Okay. Well, I want to let everyone know that I am. I don't want this to be like a professional thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I was thinking about doing this earlier. I was like, right, how can I make sure I get out of it as quick as possible? It's a maze. I'm probably going to go in there and screw it up, and everyone watching is going to be like, oh, the exit was over there. Do you know what I mean?
I know 100% what you mean. I've
Yeah.
already recorded a clip. I got lost as well, and it's my own maze. That's just embarrassing, isn't it?
Brilliant. I think what I'm saying is forgive me in advance.
Oh,
Right.
of course.
I'm
Right,
gonna
ready?
do this. Yep. Down I go. Okay, into the maze.
Your timing has begun. So it's funny because I can see your name tag sort of dotting about,
Oh,
and I know
first one
roughly.
done.
All right, so you've got one layer. You did that in 10 seconds. Wow. Okay. I'm a little bit worried.
Now I thought it might be in the opposite corner when I came
No,
down
see,
here.
that's one thing that I decided not to do. That's what I was considering doing,
Oh,
but
it's not in that corner.
they're all over the place. Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm losing it. I'm losing it on this round.
I can see your name tags just flying
Oh,
everywhere.
I think I'm out of options. It must be this one here I haven't gone down. There we go. Excellent. And
Sweet,
now
done.
we're in the middle. Let's
It's
have a look. Oh, that's a dead end.
So, some of them are more difficult than others, that's for sure. There's some of them that I feel like I got like dead on. Like it fully makes you believe that you have gone down the right one, then you're just like, "Urgh!" And it infuriates me as well.
Oh, I'm down to the next level. Right, okay.
Ooh,
Doing okay, doing okay.
I think you're gonna beat
You
me here.
must have had a natural advantage though, like some sort
little
of
bit.
instinct.
I knew roughly where I was going.
Yes, I'm down again. Sweet. Oh, that's a dead end.
Are you on the last lever? Are you on the last layer?
I think I am. I'm just
There's 5, yeah.
okay. As I go around, I'm just sort of creating a mental map of. Oh, that's confusing. Where I've been. I think I just ruined my mental map. Oh, come on, come on. Yes, yes, I'm out. I'm out.
No way!
What was
Ah,
it?
You got 1 minute 29.2.
Amazing. Oh,
I
that
can't
was
believe
sweet.
that. That is so frustrating. Well, I must admit, fair play to you. I've got a sign on me here. So I'm going to have to move myself down the leaderboard here. And here goes me trying to type on camera. So I'll put my time down. Mine's 1 minute 30 seconds.
I gotta say that was great fun, but I'm wondering, a maze is like a well-known thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's other things like that. We got to do more of these things in Minecraft.
Yeah,
'cause
I
that
think
was a
like
heck load
mini
of fun.
games. Yeah, like mini games type stuff, like that Ender Golf that you were talking about the other day. That would be really, really good fun.
Yeah, we should totally do that. There's a whole bunch of things we should be building here.
Right, so you got 1 min 29.1 seconds. So nicely done. I mean, I have to admit, I am impressed that you managed to do that. Especially the first layer, you absolutely flew through. I was getting concerned. 10
Well,
seconds you managed to do that, and
it's luck. The way you've laid it out, I do believe every path leads to a dead end, right?
yeah, pretty much, yeah.
So because of that, I just sort of went down them one by one, came back, and like I
Yeah.
said, I had a mental map. Now, it's a bit of luck of the draw, really, if you pick the right one to go down first or not.
Yeah.
But if you'd have put in some loops in there, that could have really thrown me off. Like you go round
Yeah,
the corner, you
that's
make it feel like you haven't gone back on yourself, and then all of a sudden you don't know what's going on.
that's what I was considering doing, but because it's only like a 10 by 10 area, if you make a loop back to the beginning, it's basically you can only have one loop and then they suss it out pretty quickly. That's the issue. So
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, I've got space for more mazes. If I ever wanted to
Yeah,
do another one, perhaps I could build like a bigger one or get more complicated as we go on.
yeah. I was just looking at this and thinking you could have another one on this side over here. You could, yeah, you
Really
do this as a
expand.
regular thing, Mumbo's time trials or something.
Yeah, exactly. Have like loads of various different mazes and other things going off. But anyway, it was really great fun to have you on.
Yeah, man. Thanks for inviting me.
Congratulations.
This was great.
Thanks for beating my time. Now I've got one to beat. I'll see if I can actually beat it, like not officially. I won't put it on because obviously I've had my one go. But yeah, it's been really, really great fun. And
Awesome, man.
I hope that more hermits come along and join me in my labyrinth games, whatever we're going to call this.
I'm sure they will, man. I'm sure they will.
So anyway, cheers for coming along, and I will see you later.
See you later, man. And we're back. I am pleased because I have actually solved two problems with one ladder. That's right. Now, we were going to use a trapdoor on this, but when I was looking through my chest, I saw that we had ladders as well, and they do the same thing. They provide a hitbox on the side, except you don't have to open and close them. So I thought, why don't we try that? Is that guy stuck there? Could just see him creepily peering around the corner there. That looks so odd. But yeah, this solves the problem, and I've actually solved two problems here. So the sheep that falls down and gets nudged back by the other sheep, it doesn't go into this area. That means that the wall, I think, always falls into the water, although I never saw it land on the dropper. I guess I'll learn that when I do some more testing. But the other thing that happens is this guy right here, you see how he's being pushed into this ladder, and all the other ones that fall down, they go in front of him. Well, if you aim the shears at the right height, you actually get the ones behind as well as they drop down, which, there you go, you saw it right there, perfect timing. And normally what would happen, and I think this is my own fault just for how I'm aiming the shears, is you would always be targeting the guy in the front. So we learnt something, if we aim it slightly higher, it means we're going to be shearing more sheep overall. In fact, we're going to be shearing all of them that come around here, which is something that wasn't actually happening when we were doing all of this. So if you take a look at that, and imagine what it would have been like with us shearing a few more sheep as they go around, then we would have a lot more wool overall. And that actually clears up, I think, all of the inefficiencies that we have with this at the moment. Now, I'm probably going to find a few more when I do some long-term testing, but as it stands, this thing right here, I am happy with it. I might want to redesign these little booths here at some point, but for now, do you know what? I think this thing, we can say it's finished. And I want to know something. Do you want a tutorial on how to build this farm? Because I haven't done a tutorial for something big in quite some time, and if enough of you wanted to have a tutorial for this and build it yourself, then I would certainly do one, and I think it would be a fun tutorial to make as well. So leave a comment down below, let me know if you want to see a tutorial. Of course, I'll read the comments, and if lots of you want it, then I'll show you how to build this farm. But isn't it magnificent? Isn't it awesome? It's such a cool design. I love coming down here and watching it in action. And often you see this. You see the sheep at the back are pathfinding, and they're nudging all of the sheep in front of them forward, which looks ever so derpy, which is very suitable for Minecraft. So I think that is enough of the sheep farm for now. I want to focus on the corridor here. There are a few more things to do on that, but we'll come back to it later. This looks pretty good, I think, this kind of size right here. Now we're going to have some blocks on the floor, and I think we're going to raise the ceiling up by one. But this kind of height and distance, it looks pretty cool. And if we walk the other way and look back, you'll see the void fog comes into play, and it actually doesn't look too bad. If this is going to be a long corridor, I think that's going to look pretty cool, seeing that as you travel downwards. It doesn't really affect the sides so much because of the width. It affects what you can see in front of you, so I'm actually happy with that. That is going to be okay. And I ran into a little bit of a problem over here when reducing the size of these pens, because there is some lava around here. It took me some time to remove the obsidian, and we got a whole bunch more to remove because I want to get rid of all of this just in case, you know, I decide to build with wood. We don't want anything catching on fire, which is what happened to our fence posts over here, and loads of the chickens escaped. There was cooked chicken lying on the ground everywhere, and it took me a moment to realise what happened, but then I saw the fence posts had caught on fire and they had escaped, and of course they decided to run into lava. But we are now ready for me to start building in here. I need to look at what materials I have and think about how we're going to make this corridor look. So, problems, problems, problems. That is all I have been experiencing at the moment. First of all, it took me a heck of a long time to clear out all of the obsidian, and then after I did that, the idea to use buckets popped into my head, but I'm not going to complain about that. I've been spending a really long time working on this. I quite like the design we have at the moment. I was going to use some stained clay on the ground, and then I was going to make the walls out of this packed ice and half slabs, which I think looks really nice next to each other, although it's not very well lit up at the moment, so it doesn't look too great. If we put a torch right there, you can see it looks a little nicer when it's brighter, and the lighting was going to go into the ceiling. Now I have run into problem after problem with this, and I've just been really frustrated now because the ceiling is a problem as well. So let's start off with the first thing. We did have lapis on all of this before, and after I figured out how I wanted to do this wall, I realised that these blocks here would be lapis, and lapis doesn't look good next to the packed ice. Then I had to change the floor so it was a little bit lower in here so we could have this thing too high, because I thought it looked a bit odd when it was one high, and that does look better. And there was probably some other problems, but it's taken me a heck of a long time. It's really annoying. The main problem is that I've built this thing first, and then I try to build the aesthetic stuff around it. So now I've got these measurements, the things that I want to line up, because we want to make it look nice and symmetrical and pretty, and it's just getting in the way. And I've also lowered this down by 1 as well. That's why this is different. I actually like that. I think that looks a little better, being not as steep as it was before. So yeah, the lighting is now annoying me. I want to do it so that we have 2 blocks between each thing, which would mean there'd be a lamp there, and if you have a look, there'd be another one there, so only one between the two. I'm sure there's a way. I'm sure there's a way I can get the lamps in there, but I was going to do pistons with glowstone above or something like that. So that was starting to turn into a bit of a rant, and I was thinking, you know what, you got to turn your negatives into positives, not only in Minecraft, in real life as well, but right now in Minecraft, we got some negatives with the room, the way it's coming together, and we've got to try and turn it into positives, and I think we're going to be able to do that. So when I was looking at this ceiling, I was looking at it like the whole room, everything has to line up and be symmetrical. So we have this grid, and I decided to move it so it would start there, and then this way it would line up with the center of the room, which is good because then it repeats the same on the other side. But then when we go this way, you'll see that the lamps would be in line with this column here, and then on the other side they would be 1 block over, which is not good. But then, as I said, I started to think, let's try and turn this into a positive and do something different here. So if we put the lamp in the middle of this 5x5 section and then we border it off, we create another section here which is going to be, and I've got 1 block, that's great. It's going to be 3 wide, but if you imagine it, that means we can do something different with the lamps here, and then when it goes to this area, it's also going to be an odd amount of blocks wide, so we can continue doing something different to what we do in the corners, and that I actually think is going to make the room look a lot more interesting rather than this big ceiling that repeats over and over again. But so far I've done most of the grindy stuff, like removing the obsidian and clearing out the area, and not a lot of building, so I want to make some progress here. I'll be back with you when I've done some more of the ceiling. I'm also going to put the stained clay in the ground, and that is going to look really interesting. So this is looking pretty damn cool if you ask me. I really like how this is turning out. This was very different from what I actually had in mind when I set out to do this. But we have the random stained clay, which was in Jason's build, which inspired me to crack on with this and get back into the right mood for building down here. And so we've got that as the floor, which I really like. In his builds he had them as the walls, but I like these walls like this, and we're going to see more of that in between each of our farms. But this is the most of it done now, really, because I'm going to be building this around the other farms as we go along. So when we have another gap over here between this farm and the next one, there'll be something a little different from this design over here, although it used similar materials. And another thing, actually, I need to have like another little entrance or room thing over here, because we're supposed to have a viewing balcony. For this, you can see it over there on the left, and I think we're going to have to move that to the right. And we're also going to need somewhere where you can pick up the wool from, because at the moment I just wander around here and grab it from a chest. So that is going to go over here, and I guess I will make it so that will be mirrored to something very similar on the other side, and then there'll be another little farm type over there. I have an idea for what farm I want to put over here, and it doesn't really need to use up a big space like this one does, which is good, because if it needed a bigger space we'd have a problem. But as of right now, the thing that I want to do next is this bit right here. I really like how as you walk into here there's this big view upwards, although it is slightly blocked off by this here. So I want to raise these 2 blocks, that one probably by 1 or 2, that one by a lot more, and I think I might put some stone bricks across the back here, or I might leave it as smooth stone, but I want to have the walls up the side going all the way to the top with stone. So when you walk into this area, there's a big grand view directly above you, which I think is going to look great. And I do believe there was one or two other details for that, but I can't remember what they were at the moment. So I guess I'll build that and then we will see how it looks. So I can't remember what the other thing I needed to do here was, but that is a nice view. Nice and clean. It looks really good. I think I got the slope just about right as well. And it does look a little bit more narrow now, which is I guess what you would expect, but it's hard to kind of visualize that. But that looks really, really cool. And you know what? I just realized this on this side needs to be quartz, so let's do that. There we go. It's looking good. And a moment ago when I was recording, I completely forgot to talk about what I'd spent a lot of time doing, and that was the ceiling. So let's let's pay a little more attention to this right here. We have some quartz slabs going around some redstone lamps. Not sure how I feel about that. I feel like we'll need to break it up with these stone bricks quite often because it looked a bit much. I did have them going in one big row and I wasn't too keen on it. And then over here we've used the normal stone slabs and pistons with a torch above them and then a whole set of them right here. And I think it looks a little bit odd, but I do like it, and also it doesn't provide enough light in all of the places. I think over the corners here you'll see that there are some bits that are, yeah, look at that, block light level 5 down there. So we're going to need some other light sources on the ground as well. So I guess the ceiling and the ground is still a work in progress at this point, but I like how this turned out. I think what we want to do next is the bit that's going to the side of it. That's the viewing balcony, and also we need to build some redstone to get our items out of these chests because we're going to have to bring them up over here. So that's what we're going to be building on this side. So I'd run out of hardened clay and I took a little trip over to the mesa biome to stock up, and I gotta say it is really easy to get a lot of this stuff when you have a haste beacon and your efficiency 5 pick. You know, when you're well set up, this material is pretty easy to gather, and I think I should be using it more because it's actually pretty cheap, you know. Look at all of that. All we got to use is some dyes, and then we got the right colours, and there we go. We got a whole bunch more there. So I'm going to need another chest for this somewhere, and I think I have plenty of dyes over here as well. So I'm going to get to dyeing this stuff and expanding the floor. So quite some time has passed by since I last recorded. I have been a busy bee, just getting lost in my own world, building away. And this place is looking real nice, but I'm starting to think now that I might want to change some of these parts of the ceilings. I think this bit right here doesn't look quite right. Too many of those pistons together doesn't look as good as when they're on their own, but it is slowly being expanded. You can see our floor goes all the way over to the edge here now, and that will go further in that direction over time as well. And now I've just been working on this area back here. So let's have a look at these chests. These are awesome. Look at all that wall. They look really cool the way they've been arranged like that. And so now we have all of our different walls to store in there. And then whenever we want to, you know, use some of them, we can come down here and take them up top. We're going to have a chest on this side, which is where these items go to. So I've got a little bit of redstoning here to do. That's pretty much the last thing I'm going to do. I put some of my items from my inventory in there while I was moving the wall around, but how does this look? You know, I think it looks alright. There's a lot of stone going on. It's very easy just to put stone bricks everywhere because it just gets the job done really nice without looking too spectacular. But out here it looks real good, and then you go into this and this looks alright, so it works for me. But up the top here I'm going to do something a little bit different. What I want to do is put in some stained clay like this. I don't know what colours I'm going to use yet, but I'm going to have the stained clay in a circle, then a redstone lamp, then on this side here we'll have 3 redstone lamps, and then 1 over here, and then these bits are too wide. But this is the viewing balcony, and that reminds me that I actually have to remove the one from the other side. Yeah, I forgot about that. Some more things to be done, but we can see the farm in action now, and it is a real derpy sight. It's just loads of randomly coloured sheep heading back and forth and up and down and left and right. Awesome. So we are making good progress, and I want to know, what do you think of this place right here? Because I feel like I need some feedback. You know, I've done a fair bit. One of the things I've noticed is that the roof is very flat, and I feel like we need to maybe put some of our lighting in the floor. You can see I put torches around the place because mobs were spawning in here. But it'd be nice to have some different heights in the ceiling. Like maybe if this were 1 or 2 blocks higher, that would look good. But give me some feedback and give me some ideas, because I think we can improve this ceiling. It does look good, but it could definitely be better. So I haven't done too much more, but let's go and have a look at this because it is finished, and doesn't it look snazzy in here? I really like that. The red stained clay is a nice material to work with, and that is this little bit here finished. But let's just have another look. Do you notice something? There is something here that makes this room look nice, I think. The floor is opposite to the ceiling. You can see I swapped the colours around, and I did that by accident, and then I went, wait a minute, that actually looks pretty cool. And it's quite a subtle little effect because this part of the floor feels slightly darker because you've got the darker shades on either side, and then the ceiling is slightly brighter because of that, and I think that is really cool. But there is something that I got requested in the comments on the last video, so I want to show you all my statistics. Let's have a look. This is going to be crazy. Games quit 1,500, 31 days, that's insane. There's a lot of AFKing in that, I assure you. And yeah, just have a look at all the stats. If you want to know why this flown one is so big, that's because when we transitioned from 1.6 to 1.7, I put all of my items into a chest, went into game mode 1, and I had to do a lot of flying around the map and flying around the nether as well, just to load up all the chunks ready for converting to 1.7. And yeah, there's distance by pig 0. Got to ride a pig. And yeah, these are some quite interesting numbers right there. So I'm going to flick through the rest of it. I'm not going to sit here and read them all. I'll do that in my own time. That is a lot of numbers. That is a lot of stuff. Right, I'll whiz through it quickly. You can pause the video if you're really interested. But that is certainly a lot of numbers, isn't it? Okay, so that's blocks. Then items. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Crazy amounts of numbers there, and now some. The hell? What does that one mean? Times crafted. So I have crafted 52,000. Ah, I'm confused. That must be dyes or something. Where was it? 52,000 odd dyes, 56,000 paper. That makes sense because of all the trading with villagers for emeralds. And yeah, there you can see a whole bunch of emeralds. That is pretty interesting. And then here's the mobs. So I will scroll through that quickly. And then we are done. There is the update on my statistics. I guess we should do that from time to time. Like maybe every 20 episodes or something, you give me a reminder and I'll update you. Let's listen carefully. There we go. Do you hear that sound? That is a very good sound. Let's share a couple more of these guys. There we go. And this guy over here. Oh, so derpy. And there is that noise again. What is that noise? Can you guess? Well, I've pretty much already told you what it is. It is the item elevator. It is now in place, and I really like this design. It's one I found on Mumbo Jumbo's channel, and this is it right here. I won't go into details onto how it works. I'll put a description. I'll put a link in the description box to his tutorial if you want to see that. It is now morning for me, so I am a little bit sleepy. But yes, this is our item elevator. It fits nicely into this corner here. There's actually a lot of chests if you have a look. We've got these ones with the wall in, and then we have a hopper with another chest above it, hopper and another chest. And then I realised if we go up to the top here and have a look, this actually supports another dropper at this height here. So what we can do is add yet another hopper and chest, and bear in mind probably these are never even going to fill up before we empty them, but we can put that there, and then we can have a dropper that faces towards us, and I think that's facing towards us, and then if we remove that one and face it upwards, then we've added a little bit of extra storage up here. So one thing I've got to do is finalize all of this, you know, make sure there's no spaces that are unlit that mobs can spawn in. I might as well remove that and just tidy it up. But that is our item elevator in place, and now all of this is done, which I am very happy with. So we are pretty much done here. I just made one little change, and that is the doors over here. They're now on the outside so we can have carpets on the inside, which means no more derping around into the hoppers. But here's the thing, when you turn this on, it shuts the door, which is cool, but when you turn it off, it opens it up. So all of the doors will end up like this after you're using it, and I don't know how I feel about that. It doesn't make the biggest of differences, but it looks a lot better when they're shut by default like that. But it probably really doesn't matter much at all. I'll leave it like that. Maybe I'll find another solution, because before the door was on the hopper on the other side, and that meant you could only have one carpet, which looked a little bit strange, but there we go. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Please remember to leave some feedback about this room. I like it, but I feel like there's more things we should do with this ceiling, that's for sure. And we need some lighting down here on the ground because all of these torches just don't look right. But if you have enjoyed the episode, please do leave a like, and also if you want to see a tutorial, let me know as well. I'm thinking about doing one for this. I think that would be a lot of fun to make. But that is it for this video. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.